Okay, so we're talking about SDTs, and I mentioned how the implementation of SDTs will change some things in the company. For example, the incentives or the performance appraisals, if they need to be changed. And you asked something which I didn't hear, so I don't know if you could repeat or write that down.
Okay, yeah, you were talking about STDs, right? And exactly what you said there. In order to implement them, the company needs to make changes, okay? However, is this not causing additional overhead work which wouldn't normally need to be done?
Okay.
No, it's okay. Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay, no, I understand what you mean. All the organizations, even if they realize that they are having problems, they won't have the resources to stop and start implementing all these great things. Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so does anybody else have a comment on how we can circumvent that, or are there situations where SDTs cannot be implemented? Okay, so I can pose a question on the faculty board about that to see what the professor says.
Okay. Because basically my point is that I thought that the reason for creating STDs, the main reason would be to reduce costs.
Can you please write down exactly what you want to ask, so I can post that on the faculty board?
Okay, I will do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Shall we move on?
Okay, so I lost my marking things here, but we were here, 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 here. We mentioned this, the creation of work groups and teams. We can tie that. But as I understand, the difference between number 11 and number 12 is that number 11 is more about the processes that we have in the organization, and number 12 is about the business itself, the work groups and teams that we create for performance the task related to the business. Am I correct on that? Hello?
Hi. Are you asking a question or?
Yes, I was asking a question. I don't know if someone can comment on that. My take on number 11 and number 12 is that they are different because the number 11 refers to the way the organization behaves and the organizational problems that you could have on how you perform the things. But number 12 is related to the tasks themselves, related to the specific business activities that you are doing. Am I correct on that?
Uh, to be honest, I'm not sure. I just don't know. Perhaps somebody else has more of an idea.
Okay. Can anybody else comment on that? Okay. So we can move forward. I will be waiting for your question on SDTs, so I can post it on the website. And what we have left of the concepts are the ones that are related to the change and the implementation of change. So we should be talking about organizational design, how to create a service-driven firm, and the organizational change and development. I think we can talk about those three together. So I would say that the concept number 2021 is the way in which we implement and put in motion all the previous concepts towards achieving competitive advantage. And this number 18 of creating a responsive service-driven firm is linked to that, because this responsiveness will give us this competitive advantage. Even though it doesn't mean that if you don't have a responsive service-driven firm, you are not going to have a competitive advantage. Because if you are in the oil industry or I don't know, somewhere where you have some monopoly, you don't need this change and you don't need this responsiveness in order to make money. Can someone else comment on that? So we can close on the overview of the concepts and move forward.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so Jerry, can you hear now?
Yes, I am back.
Okay, great. So we were discussing these three last concepts, number 17, 18, and 21, and we were trying to tie them together so we can close the review of the concepts and maybe share something, some cases or examples, and briefly talk about this message that the professor sent about writing good essays. So if you can comment on that.
Okay, which one in particular? The three?
If you could link those three together.
Okay. Yeah, I think they all go together because of competitive advantage. Many organizations are redesigning, re-engineering, and some are changing the structure because business now is going the way of the way of the flatter organization, not the vertical. It's trying to encourage team working, group working. The smaller, the better, and in that way, they will be able to respond to changes in the business world, competition, and so on. So I think my take here is that managers, those that have the responsibility to organize work in the organization and make decisions that will help the organization to move forward, should look at all these three, because that's the responsibility of managers.
Okay, so if does anybody else have any general comment about these concepts that we just covered?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I would like to go over this file, this other file, which is an analysis of the previous exams, where you see the different concepts, the modules, the different subjects inside those concepts. This is the exam period where a question related to that appeared and how many times it appeared, because as this is, for example, the determinants of job satisfaction. In the exam of June 08, it appeared one time. Okay, so we had a sample of 10 past exams. This subject appeared 4 times, so there's a probability of 40% of appearing. Can you all see this screen? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I did this for all the subjects and all the past exams, so we can see which concepts are most likely to appear on the exam. That doesn't mean that this is that as Lewin's plant change process appeared in most of the exams is going to appear now, but there's a big chance it will do. So we can see the main issues that we should know. So if now that we have only a few days, I think this can help us on focusing the efforts on the parts of the book that we haven't mastered yet. So I'm going to share this file afterwards? I have already shared it, but it didn't have this column with the probability of appearing. That doesn't mean much, as I said, but it's a good indicator of whether a concept has been considered important in the past to appear on an exam.
Okay.
Okay, so also regarding this, you all have this message. I don't know if you have any specific question that you need to ask the professor about it, on how he recommends that we answer all these essay questions. Do you all have this message?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will paste it here anyway. So I would like to summarize, and if possible, just someone give an example or a case, or we can continue this on the faculty board. We talked about most of the concepts, so we agreed on that the objective of this is to achieve competitive advantage. So this is not a fixed sequence, so there are many concepts that have to be interlinked and implemented at the same time. So there are many things that as managers we need to be aware of, such as the different theories behind many things and how they could be implemented in real life. One thing that is mentioned in this email from the professor with the recommendations on how to answer is that when presented with a case, we should look at which level we are. If we are talking about micro, meso, or if we are talking about macro, to see which set of concepts we should mention first. That doesn't mean that this is fixed, because as we saw, we can relate anything to anything if we justify it. Okay, so I don't know if there's any other question that we need to send to the professor, or any other comment that you want to share. For the case study, I don't know if we have time now. I would recommend to think over what we discussed today and post a case study linking all these concepts on the faculty board, so we can have the input from the professor and the rest of the students.
Yeah, that sounds fine for me.
Okay, so I will take these latest questions and I will post them on the faculty board in a while. And I think we can be closing this session if you don't have further comments.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, thanks very much for your time. I found it very useful. And good luck, I suppose, in the exam to everybody.
Okay, so I think this was useful because we saw some connections between the models that we didn't think about before. We also have some new questions that we're going to be following up on the faculty board, and this will give us like more tools to interlink these different concepts and to be able to apply them in the real life, because most of us are managers and we need to put this into practice. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for making this happen.
Okay, thanks to you. I will try to post this somewhere. I hope the recording worked. So we can go over it again and take any notes. So we will keep in touch, and we'll be following up all these questions on the faculty board with the professor.
Okay, thanks guys.
Okay,
Take
thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.